tapping. What the hell is tapping? Basically, it's a blend of modern psychology and Chinese medicine. So who has ever been to an acupuncturist before? Yeah, I love acupuncture. And so basically what we're doing, in acupuncture, they're placing these needles. Let me take this rod out of her ass. Ooh, that was a relief. Okay, so there are these energy lines that run up and down the body. They're called meridians. Basically, when there's a trauma in your relationship or earlier on in life or something that is dysfunctional that wasn't healed through love, there becomes blocks in these energy lines. And then if the block isn't cleared out through love, compassion, empathy, etc., it gets more and more dense. Therefore, that line gets blocked, stagnation occurs, and then dis-ease or illness starts to manifest in the body. So I'm going to pass her around. You can check her out. You can see all those beautiful lines. It's a lovely costume she's wearing. We all have that same costume. Oh, I can stand and sing up. Okay, so we're blending modern psychology with this ancient Chinese medicine. So in Chinese medicine, we're going to be tapping on these points. That are the meridian points. And then we start to talk about our issues. We talk about our emotions, our feelings, the things that happened in our life, the traumas. And as we talk about that, the whole nervous system starts to get really triggered. And then we start tapping and we start breathing it out. It starts circulating the prana through the whole energetic system and rewiring the energetic system. And the part about tapping, which really makes it go quantum, is the love. It's the empathy. It's the forgiveness that we bring into the trauma. So usually when something bad happens in our life and it wasn't healed through love, we're holding on to fear inside of our cellular structure, and also we have patterns set up in our brain that perceive reality through fear because we never actually learned through love when the trauma happened. And so what we're actually doing in tapping is we go into the trauma, we Google it in the desktop of our mind, and we say, oh, there's pain there, there's fear there, this happened, this memory. We open it up. We start to bring it love and forgiveness and empathy. We hold it in a container of love so that it can start to melt. As it starts to melt, you'll start off-gassing, which could be yawning, burping, crying, hiccuping, and farting. It all happens because the body is moving a lot of energy. So just let yourself relax into it. It's okay. We want to let it out rather than hold it in because we've been holding it in for so long, if you know what I mean. Okay? So as that happens, while that off-gassing takes place, there's a rewiring that happens inside the brain as well. So scientifically speaking, you have these pathways that get set up inside the brain when you are a child, usually between 0 and 6, and then stuff starts to reinforce after that. Between the ages of 0 and 6, you're in a semi-hypnotic state. So you basically open your eyes up to the world. Everything you see around you becomes what you believe reality to be. So if you see your parents behaving in a certain type of way, if you see your culture behaving in a certain way around relationships, you start to think that is normal. So if your parents were fighting all the time, fighting is normal. Later on in life, you're up for that fight, right? Because you were wired to believe it's normal to fight. And a lot of people are like, no, we're just figuring it out. And other people enter the relationship like, no, I'm not into fighting. And some people are like into it, right? But ultimately, we all just really want love, but we have these patterns that we think are normal on a very subconscious level, and so we start to react based on those patterns, and also we attract people into our life that reflect those unresolved patterns. So in the brain, when we start to open up that fear, you've got the synapses. It's basically shooting off a pattern. It could be a belief, it could be an emotional reaction, it could be a posture. All of that stuff gets wired in. Then someone comes into your life, triggers it, and then all of a sudden you're reacting, right? And as that happens, in tapping, we start to bring love, empathy, and forgiveness there. So we've opened it up, it's there, you're feeling it, it's intense, and you're like, okay, now I'm going to give you love. Now I'm going to give you deep empathy while you're in that pattern. And as you're doing that, the protein bonds or the scaffolding that's basically gluing it in place, the synapses in place, which is basically like 10% of our brain is like just shooting back and forth all the time, and we have all this other capacity that we're not using because we're just wired into certain traits. So basically what we're doing is we start to bring that love and empathy, the protein bonds melt, synapses opens up, hallelujah, it rewrites itself, it rewires itself. It then chooses a new pathway based on love. It chooses a new pathway based on forgiveness. It chooses a new pathway based on empathy. And then when that gets set up in the back of your brain, you walk out into reality, and reality is that. Reality is no longer all of that trauma that was stored in the back of your mind, which is attracting all of this stuff. Reality becomes, love, empathy, forgiveness, presence. I'm available. And that availability creates the depth, the connection, the unity, and ultimately the intimacy that we're all craving. And when we can do that for ourselves, then we have that space so we can really show up. And when someone else that we're in relationship with is not showing up, we don't react anymore. Because we don't have a pattern in the back of our mind telling us that I'm offended when they do that. Instead, we have a pattern that says, wow, they're in pain and they don't know any better. Let me hold love here, because that's what they're really asking for, even though they're going through whatever. And we get to be the provider of that love and allow our shift to create the shift in the relationship. And when people are met with that level of space from you, they shake it off pretty quickly because you're not reacting to them. And they recognize that that pattern doesn't exist in the relationship with you because it doesn't have a hold on you. So that's what we're going to do tonight. Do you guys want to do that? Release some of those patterns? Yeah? Awesome. Beautiful. So we're going to do a little oath before we get started. And the oath is basically so that we can all feel safe together, because it's going to be a call and response. You guys are going to go into your own process. You're going to talk out loud what you're going through. And you might hear your neighbor speak something as well. But this is just an oath to keep us in a safe space. Will you do it with me? Yeah? Okay, cool. So open up your hands to the sky and just repeating after me. I commit to create a safe space. And I promise not to go up to anyone afterwards and say, I heard what you said. Let me be your love guru. Unless they ask me first. Go, 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 go! Awesome. Beautiful. So we're safe now. We get to really dive in together. I'm going to show you the points. We'll do a brief meditation. I'll ask you some questions. We're going to dive into the tap. We'll do a little bit of mirror work in that tap. At the end of the night, we're going to do some crazy ass dancing. We're going to wiggle our asses. We're going to celebrate. And that is part of the rewiring. So it's not just to have fun, although it's massively fun if you really let yourself dive into it. What happens is when you go from a state of like, oh, this is really hard, and then you switch to a state of joy, the toggling in your brain starts to reset the patterns as well, because you're going from sadness to happiness, sadness to joy, and the brain doesn't know how to hold it together anymore, so it opens up and you're able to rewire to joy. So that's why we celebrate and we create all of that fun at the end. So will you guys just like dance and have fun at the end with us, yeah? Okay, good. Awesome. All right, so the points, tapping or just massage underneath the collarbone right here. This is the emotional well. We're just going to skim through these points. This is just half the method. Tapping the center of the chest. Tapping between the brows. Tapping the temples. Everyone take a big deep breath, release a big sigh. Tapping the cheeks. Tapping underneath the nose. So all of these points are connected to those meridian points that link into the organs And the organs all hold emotion as well. So in Chinese medicine, depending on which point you're tapping, you're clearing out an energy or an emotion in that organ as well. Tapping the center of the chest again, front of the ribs, side of the ribs. Come on, monkeys. It's always my favorite part. Tapping the side of the wrist. Okay, so you're going to do a karate chop, tapping the top corner of the edge where the nail juts out the most on the thumb. Next finger, top corner edge. Middle finger, top corner edge. Ring finger on the opposite side, top corner edge. It's the only finger on the opposite side. This is like for managing your relationship to the world around you. The other, also temperature. Little finger inside again. Side of the hand. Take a big deep breath, release a big sigh. Beautiful. Tapping the top of the head. Tapping between the brows, and then we just go on a cycle. We just keep going around and around. We tap the temples, the cheeks, and that will be the cycle. I will be doing it in the session, so you can just follow with me as well. But that's basically the points. Let's just take a moment right now just to center ourselves into just a little bit of a meditation, just so that we can receive what it is that we really want to invite into our life. Okay? And just close your eyes right now. Feel your sit bones on the cushion. Just feel your belly get soft in the belly. Your breath gets soft in the belly. Feeling anything that's been coming up for you. And just feeling that prayer right now, that you get to work with that content right now. That you get to offer it to love tonight. That you get to offer whatever challenges have been coming up for you, no matter where you're at. It's being offered to love tonight. And therefore, we get to feel it all. Because love is there with us. And then bring your hands so they're like poking out like this. This is like a lotus. And then bring your pinky and your thumbs together in front of your heart. And just gently bring your chin back and just looking your eye gaze down into the middle of the lotus. And imagine whoever it is you're in relationship with or whatever's happening in the middle of the lotus right now. As you breathe all of the love into that intention right now. Whatever the situation is, wherever you're moving right now, that it's held right there in the heart. And we're going to do just a simple rhythmic breath. So we're going to exhale powerfully through the nose and then bring the navel in towards the spine. And then as the navel goes in towards the spine, imagine the heart, it coming out of the heart center into the lotus. So it looks like this. And with this one, it's coming like this, cycling around. Okay? And begin. Powerfully bringing the heart space into that position right now. Really moving the energy, and as we continue to do this, we call upon this prayer right now. We call upon this love, we call upon breakthrough, so that we may step more deeply into love, so that we may receive the bounty of the blessings that love has for us. And just imagine yourself letting go of any resistance right now to your current situation in relationships. And inhale, hold the breath. Expand the chest, bring the shoulder blades back towards each other, hold the breath. And then bringing your palms together in prayer, exhale, bringing your head down. Just feel the space right now. What are you calling in right now? What are you calling into your life? And taking a short moment to just imagine yourself in your own bubble right now. This is all about you and your own experience. And writing down on the piece of paper what it is you're calling in. And I'm going to move through a few questions somewhat quickly. So even if it's just a small note of what it is you're calling in, the first thing that arose in your mind after that short little breath work. And this may change in the tap as well. This is just to kind of stir the waters a little bit, to get things started. And then the next question is, when that is not happening for you in your life, when you're getting the opposite of that, what are some of the limiting emotions that arise for you? Sadness, resentment, anger, grief, fear, shame, pity. What are some of the emotions that arise for you when that's not happening? Blame, depression, heartache, isolation, resistance, anger. What are some of the emotions that come up when you are not getting that? And what are some of the thoughts that go on in your head when that's not happening for you? I'm not good enough. I'm not worthy. I'm not ready. They're not ready. It's too late. Did I say something wrong? I should have done this. I should have done that. I'm too ugly. I'm too old. I'm too young. What are some of the thoughts that come up in your mind when that's not happening? What are some of these excuses that go on in your mind? They don't accept me. I'm not accepting them. I'm the victim. What if I make a mistake? And any other thoughts that might come up when you're not getting it, when it's not happening for you. And take a moment and just feel into how it feels when it's not happening for you. When you feel that uncomfortability, when you feel that resistance, when you feel that challenge, when you feel that drama, when that's there going on in the field. Feel what that feels like for a moment. That confusion. What is your earliest memory of having a similar feeling to that? Was there something that was happening earlier on in your family life when you felt that way? Perhaps you saw your mum and dad behaving in a certain way and that made you feel that way too. Or perhaps it was your relationship to one of your parents and they treated you a certain way and you felt that when they talked to you like that or when they rejected you like that. So just jot down an early memory of when you might have felt a similar way around a similar topic. It doesn't necessarily have to be your lover or your romantic partner. It could be mum or dad, because oftentimes our partners are reflective of what we went through with our parents. And who do you blame or hold responsible for this pattern? For not getting this, for feeling stuck here? And a lot of the time we blame ourselves, but it could also be someone else's fault as well. So who is it? Is it you or is it someone else that you're blaming? Is it an earlier relationship that set you back? Was it someone that raised you that you blame? Or was it yourself when you did something? And then if you feel into it when you're not getting it, so in tapping, it's really important to feel the uncomfortability, because that's how we clear it. We let ourselves feel it with love and it dissolves. So let yourself know right now that this isn't like one of those positive affirmation events. This is like, I'm going to let myself feel really uncomfortable and invite it in so that I can actually bring love to it. And so it can be met in my arms and it actually gets the love that it really needs. So if you were to feel that uncomfortability right now, what would the texture be of it? Prickly, hard, oozing, festering, sticky, dense? What does it feel like in your body when you're not getting that, when you feel triggered by it? And if this wasn't an issue, similar to question number 1, what would be physically happening in your life if all of this wasn't there? What would be physically taking place? Just describe on a physical level. I'd be in a relationship, we'd be living together, we'd be cooking dinner together at night instead of working, or, just like, what are some of the physical things that you crave? Or that he calls me back when I call him. Simple things, right? Alrighty. So you guys ready to dive in? Yeah? Stirred it up a little bit? Nice. Okay. So the middle of the class is going to be the most intense. So if you start to get really weirded out by all these people processing and crying and how do I get out of here? Where's the exit? She's a cult leader. Whatever's going on in your mind, just stick it through. Just see if you can get through to the other side, because that can happen in the middle. You're like, oh, this is really intense and I don't want to feel this. But trust that I will get you to the other side of the river and you're going to feel lighter, happier, and more connected to your love and as a result to what you're creating, okay? Can you guys do that with me? Yeah? Nice. Cool. Perfect. So let's just take a moment right now and just massage underneath the collarbone and just close your eyes. And just imagine that you're in your own bubble right now. And that this is just you and your own process, and it's not about anyone else or what anyone says. And if you feel like you get pulled out by other people talking, just remember that you're in that bubble and come back to your own bubble. And tune in right now to everything that you just wrote down on that piece of paper. Feel into any struggle that's been there for you, any hardship that's been happening, uncomfortability. Take a big deep breath, release a big sigh. Okay, now as you lean into that uncomfortability of what's been going on or what hasn't been going on a scale of 0 to 10, 10 being it's so uncomfortable, 0 being I feel free, what is the number? 0 to 10. 10 being super uncomfortable, 0, nothing. And then repeating after me, the number is, and just tell me the number out loud about the uncomfortability level. The number is? Great. Okay, so now I'm going to start the call and response, and you'll just repeat after me. If the word isn't completely accurate, just change the word to match your experience. If you don't know what you feel, just give the word a try. You can't drill in negativity any deeper, but I can prod and poke you, and if something comes out, awesome. Now we get to bring it love, okay? So repeating after me, I've been feeling really stuck in love and relationships. Tapping the center of the chest, I've been feeling stuck by. How have you been feeling stuck? Just say it out loud. And that's understandable. I feel really stuck here. And I don't know how to clear it. And I don't know how tapping on my chest is going to help. I'm open to loving myself anyway. Even if this doesn't work. It's possible my challenge is worth my love. And I'm willing to give it a try. Great. You guys ready to give it a try? Yeah? Yes. Okay, good. So let's take a moment and just feel into whatever's been going on for you, and then speak out loud what's been going on. I have been, and then this happened, and then he said that, or she said that. Just go on a little rant around what's taking place for you. Go ahead. I have been. Tapping between the brows. And that's been making me feel, what's the most uncomfortable emotion that comes up as a result of that? That's been making me feel. Tapping the temples, and that's understandable. I've been feeling really, what have you been feeling? Tapping the cheeks, feel into what that feeling feels like in your body. Where is it living in your body? What does it feel like? It feels like, describe the texture of it. This feeling of, name what it is, has been really uncomfortable for me. I feel really, name what it is that you've been feeling. Tapping underneath the nose. I've been feeling, name it again. Tapping underneath the lips. I've been feeling. And just really lean into it now. Let yourself get super uncomfortable just for a moment. Feel into it. Really lean into it. Let yourself be with it right there. Take a big deep breath. Release a big sigh. Tapping the center of the chest. I love and forgive myself. For how hard this has been. And for how much I've been struggling with this. It's possible I'm still worthy of love. Even though this has been really hard on me. And I've been feeling blocked and unlovable and not ready and really scared. And what have you been feeling? And say it out loud. And just feel that right now. Be with it right there. Let yourself lean into it right there. Take a big deep breath. Release a big sigh. Tapping the front of the ribs. It's possible I can heal this. I'm ready to really look at this now. No matter how long it's been with me. No matter how many times I've struggled with this. And with how many people. I'm ready to bring love here. Because I am ready for love. And so I'm bringing love here now. Because I am worthy of it. I am worthy of love here. And I am bringing my love there. Tune into wherever you've been struggling with it right now. And just imagine a big wave of empathy just coming in and brushing over you right there. Let yourself receive that empathy right now, that compassion for how hard it has been and for how hurt you've been feeling or disrespected or unacknowledged or not taken care of. Just feel that love come in right now. Take a big deep breath, release a big sigh. I'm bringing love here. Tapping the side of the ribs. I'm bringing love to, what's the part for you? I'm bringing love to, just name your struggle. I'm bringing love to, name what it is again. Because I'm worthy of it. And I'm done with waiting. Trying to prove myself to get it. I'm worthy of love here. Big deep breath, big sigh. And it's possible my love can transform this. And I'm ready to give it a shot. Tapping the side of the wrist. Are you guys ready to dive in a little deeper? So I want you just to take a moment and tune into that first memory that pops into your mind when you felt a similar way, when that was coming up for you, that same emotion, that same feeling, that same type of struggle, when you first felt that in your body. And just tune into whenever that was. And I'm going to take you on just a little journey as we look at that right now. And then just repeating after me, it all started when. Tapping the side of the thumb. It all started when, and just go on a little rant. Tell me about what was taking place for you. And I was, what were you doing? And what did they do? And they what? And that made me feel what? That made me feel... Tapping the next finger. I felt really... Tell me what you felt when that took place. And I've been feeling that ever since. And when that took place, what did you start believing about yourself or about reality? I started believing what? And I've been believing that a long time. I thought this was reality. I've been believing what? Ever since what took place? Ever since... because I wasn't getting the love I needed. Tapping the middle finger, I wasn't getting the care that I needed, the support that I needed. What I really needed was what? What did you need? I really needed, tell me what it is. But I didn't get it. Instead, I got what? What did you get instead? And that fucking sucks. Instead, I got what? And that really hurts. Tune into that moment when it really hurt. What was the most painful part of that memory for you? The most painful part was, just say it out loud. Tapping the opposite side of the next finger. The most painful part was, say it again. That's when I really shut down. That's when I started to doubt myself, or my worth, or my ability to receive. That's when I started to believe what? Say it again. Take a big, deep breath, release a big sigh. Tapping the little finger. It's possible I was worthy of love, even though I wasn't getting it. It's possible I was worthy of love, even though they didn't give it to me. They didn't give it to me. And I really wanted it from them. Feel into any pain around not getting it? Take a big deep breath, release a big sigh. Tapping the side of the hand. I love and deeply accept myself. Even though I doubted myself. And I've been doubting my worth ever since. I forgive myself. Just send some forgiveness to yourself for any blame or shame you put on yourself for when others haven't shown up for love. Or any blame or shame you put on yourself thinking that it's your fault that they're not showing up with love, that you must have done something wrong, and that you're responsible for the fact that they didn't love. It's possible I'm a good human being, and I am worthy of love, and I'm done with these games. I'm done with playing. I'm ready to receive what? What are you ready to receive? So take a moment right now and just see yourself in that most painful part, that most painful moment where you felt really hurt, really shut down, where you really started to doubt yourself. Feel that moment right now when the light started to get dark. Take a big deep breath, release a big sigh. as you see that moment right now when all was lost, when you felt like you weren't going to get that love maybe ever, and that you were silly to even ask for it, and that you should hide your heart in case someone rejects you again, and that you shouldn't speak up, and that you shouldn't be vulnerable, and you shouldn't be authentic, and you shouldn't be real just in case they reject you. Feel that moment right now, and as you shut down, as you feel yourself in that body of that earlier version of you, feel the texture in your body, feel the breakdown, feel how your shoulders felt, feel how it felt in your body right now. And as you feel that in your body, I want you to take a moment in that image right now, and I want you to open your eyes up in that image. And I want you to see your higher self over there looking at you as that took place. I want you to see your higher self with all of their infinite love and compassion, just watching what took place. And I want you to see your higher self with all of their care. Walk over to that younger version of yourself right now and pick you up in their arms and bring you close to their heart. And I want you to feel them bringing you into your heart like you are worthy. And I want you to feel that love touching you deeply right now. Take a big, deep breath, release a big sigh. Tapping the top of the head. I am worthy of this love. And as you see your higher self looking down at that earlier version of you right now, in that part of you that was shut down or hurt or lost or felt rejected or uncared for or disrespected or isolated or abandoned. And I want you to see your higher self there as they hold you in their arms, looking at you in your eyes right now. And as they gaze into your eyes right now with all of that compassion for what just took place, what do they want to say to you? What message do they have for you right now? My higher self is saying, tell me what it is. My higher self is saying, and it's possible it's true. Tapping between the brows. My higher self is saying, and it's possible it's true. Take a big deep breath, release a big sigh. Tapping the temples, and then picking up the mirror. Tapping one temple and just looking at yourself in the mirror right now. And as you look at your own eyes in the mirror, as you look at your higher self gazing back at you, seeing you, recognizing you, loving you, worshiping you for the beauty, the grace that you are. And then as you look into your higher self's eyes, your higher self has that message to say once more. My higher self is saying what? Tell me what it is. Tapping the cheeks. My higher self is saying, and I forgive you for not believing it before. I forgive you for doubting yourself. and your worth. You are worthy of so much love. You are worthy of being taken care of. Tapping underneath the nose, and I'm taking care of you now. Move your hands to your chest as you look into the mirror right now. Looking at yourself in the eyes. This is a moment between you and your higher self where you really get to choose to show up. That no matter what happens for the rest of your life, that your higher self and you are there every step of the way. That love will always be there because you are choosing it, because you love yourself so deeply and you know you're worthy of it. And that your higher self will be there to stand for that kind of love. Because you know you're worthy of it. And as you watch your higher self speak back to you, repeating after me, I'm standing for you now. You are love. You are magnificent. And I'm here for you. And I'm sorry we disconnected. I'm here now. Tune into any resistance to fully receiving the love of your higher self. To fully receiving that unstoppable, unbreakable, infinite supply of compassion, care, love, and healing right now. Take a big deep breath, release a big sigh. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. You're doing so good. I love you. You've come so far. Look how far you've come. You're doing great. And I'm here for you now. Big deep breath, big sigh. Placing the mirror down, continuing to tap on your chest. Repeating after me, I forgive myself for not knowing how to love fully, for being scared to love, for holding back my love, for hiding my love, for playing games with my love. I'm forgiving myself for stopping the love. I'm forgiving myself for not knowing how to love fully, how to show up fully with love. I forgive myself for struggling here. So just tune in right now to any times in your life where you haven't loved as much as you wish you could have, where you held back or you hid your true feelings because you were afraid of being rejected, or you're just trying to avoid pain or someone rejecting you. And therefore you stopped the flow of love because of whatever could have happened. You stopped the flow of love just trying to protect yourself. You stopped the fountain of love that wanted to come out of your being and transform the situation because you just didn't know how. because no one showed you. No one showed you how to love that way. So tune into any blame you put on yourself, any shame you've put on yourself around those times when you weren't the most eloquent, those times when you reacted, those times when you held back, those times when you shut down, those times when you ran away. Those times. I'm forgiving myself. Tapping the front of the ribs. 4, and just name any of those times that come into your mind right now when you stopped the flow of love and you chose to shut down, resist, hide, block instead. I was just scared. I was just scared because I didn't want to lose love. But I lost it anyway. When I did what? I lost it. When I what? And I was trying not to lose it. But I lost it. Take a big, deep breath, release a big sigh. Tapping the side of the ribs. Keeping in your own bubble, your own space. Just keep bringing it back to your own story right now. This is just for you right now. I can keep shutting down love. I can keep running away. I can keep avoiding. I can keep pretending it doesn't matter. I can keep reacting. I can keep getting angry and forceful. I can keep what? What have you been doing that's been blocking love? I can keep tapping the side of the wrist for as long as I want to. And it is justified. I can keep what? Tell me what it is. I can hold on to this for the rest of my life if I want to. I can keep doing what? Tell me what it is. Imagine your life 5 years from now, if you keep doing that. How does that affect your relationships? How does that affect how you're interacting? What happens as a result of that? 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years from now. Who are you 5 years from now? What has or has not happened? What has been destroyed or what has been lost as a result of that? 10 years from now. 20 years from now. 40 years from now. Imagine you have this for the rest of your life. That you never let this go. That you keep using it, you keep protecting yourself with it, you keep justifying it because it's understandable, right? They did that or they might do that and I've got to do this. But if you keep doing this or this instead of this, what happens to your whole life? Let's just see what that agreement is. You're there on your dying day. You're laying there on your deathbed. And you've had this for your whole life now, and you're still justifying it. You're still trying to protect yourself with it. But what happened in your life as a result of it? Just tell me a little story. Just tell me what took place as a result of holding on to that for the rest of your life. Go ahead. And how does that feel when you do that for your whole life? That makes me feel what? My whole life. And I don't want that. I just want to feel love. But I'm not willing to let go of what? What are you not willing to let go of? Being vulnerable, being open, being honest, showing up when they're not showing up, seeing through love when they're not seeing through love, holding compassion when they're angry. Hiding, not pursuing just in case. What happens and how does that feel for your whole life? It feels like, tell me what that is. Tapping the next finger. And just intensify how uncomfortable that is for every year of your life that you hold on to that. Intensify it by 50%. Really let yourself feel how uncomfortable that is in your system as you hold on and protect and defend and hide and squirm and all that shut down. Intensify it by 75%. Really let yourself be uncomfortable, just so we understand. Tapping the middle finger, intensify it by 100%. Really go there, really uncomfortable. Oh my God, fuck, I had that my whole life. Yuck. And now you're there on your dying day. It's crippling your body and you're holding on to it. You just don't want to even let it go, even on your last breath. You don't want to surrender it just in case, even in that last moment, someone might offend you or hurt you or reject you or make you feel unsafe or say something. Even on that last breath, I'm not going to let go. I'm going to hold on to this forever. I'm never going to let go of this. I'm going to take it into my next life and the life after that. And I'm going to have that pattern over and over. I'm going to have that same kind of life over and over. Take a big deep breath, release a big sigh. Tapping the opposite side of the next finger. I don't want to hold on to what? What's your position? What's been this defense position? I don't want to hold on to. Tell me what the defense position has been. And I don't care what anyone says or thinks. I want to have love in my life. And I'm ready to let love come through no matter what. This is my choice. No one else's. My choice is to love. I'm ready. I can handle it. It's possible. Love will be there. No matter what happens. It's possible. Love will be there. No matter what happens. Love is there. And it wants to hold me. No matter what happens. Big deep breath, big sigh. Tapping the little finger. I can do this. It's possible life will be easier if I allow love through. It's possible love will be bigger if I let it through. It's possible love will create more intimacy if I let it through. Tapping the side of the hand. It's possible love can do what? What can it do for your life if you just let it come through you, regardless of what happens outside of you? What can love do? It's possible love can. It's possible love can. What can love do for you? Ooh, I know it can do that. It's possible love can what? And I want to give it a try. Because this old way really isn't working out. It's hurting my life and my relationships. I'm ready to give love a try. And see what I can create. See what it can create. Love. I can let it come through. Big, deep breath, big sigh. And I forgive myself for waiting. And for not knowing how to bring it through. Because I was afraid. I'm learning now. I'm letting love show the way. Big, deep breath, big sigh. I'm forgiving myself and anyone who has ever shared pain with me. Because they didn't know better either. They didn't know how to love either. They were just trying to figure it out too. Just like me. We were all trying to figure it out. And I'm forgiving myself and them for being messy with love. I'm forgiving all of us now. Tune into anyone that you have been feeling any psychic attention, any drain from, past relationships. Let's say goodbye to that drain now, so that they can be free, you can be free, so love can be free. Tune into anyone that's there for you right now that comes to mind, where you felt like you had to play a game, where you felt like it was a push and pull, where you felt like you had to convince, where you made them feel like they needed to convince. Any games with anyone through the history of your time right now, just pull them up into your mind right now. Hold them in your love. Hold them in the love that you know you are right now. Hold it all in that love right now. Knowing that it is safe to fully let it go. It is safe to let it all unwind into love. Feel anyone, lean into them, feel into any tension there. Take a big deep breath, release a big sigh. I'm letting it go now. I'm letting love transform and heal it all. I'm letting go of, and just tell me whatever it is that you're letting go of, whoever it is, whatever it is, whatever the situations have been. Just recognize that love is the intelligence. And that we don't have to figure it out. Because when we bring love in, love will intelligently resolve, heal, solve, uplift, magnify the presence. So hand it over to love right now. It doesn't need to be figured out. Just hand it to love. Feel into anyone else there, any final people from your life that need a dose of that love right now. Take a big deep breath, release a big sigh. I'm ready to move on now. I'm ready to move on. I'm ready to move on with love. I'm ready to let love come through my life. I'm ready to let love guide my life, guide my relationships, guide anything that arises. Feel into any final strands that are there for you. What is the final strand that, yeah, but, or what if? Feel that for you right now. Lean into that final what if right there. Feel what that what if, yeah, but. Take a big deep breath, release a big sigh. I've got this. Love has got this. Love is my identity. Love is stepping out now and guiding my life. Guiding my life. What does your life look like? What do your relationships look like when you allow the fullness, the capacity of overflowing love, compassion, empathy, presence, joy that comes from that love to overflow into your relationships? What happens in your life when you allow that to come through you? And I want you to describe it right now. It looks like this is what's happening. I start to feel this way. It changes, it creates. What happens? I get to, what do you get to do with that kind of love? I get to who do you get to be with that kind of love? I get to be, tell me what you get to be. I get to be, go on a little rant, describe what your world looks like, how you're showing up, what you get to share, how you get to see, how you're seeing reality. I get to, and it looks like this, and I'm doing that, and it feels like this. Tell me a little story right now. And how does that feel when you get to do that? How does it feel in your body? It feels like... And what do you believe about yourself? I start to believe what? Oh yeah, I start to believe... And I get to what? Take a big deep breath, release a big sigh. It's possible this is easier than I think. It's possible this could be more fun than I think. If I let love show up fully. Love is telling me what? What is love telling you right now about your situation? Love is telling me. Love is telling me. And that feels, what does it feel like when you get to receive that message? Take a big deep breath, release a big sigh. to turn to a partner right now, face to face to a partner. If you came with someone, you can sit with them. If you didn't, just turn to someone else. This is our opportunity to let love flow. Okay? So I want you both just to kind of rub your chest right now. Short-haired person, you're going to be the infinite supply of love. Okay? So you are the all-loving, all-compassionate, all-understanding, all-caring love. So I want you to take a moment and just feel what that feels like to just hold love. And just now, look at them in the eyes, both of you. And repeating after me. I'm ready to receive love, everyone. I'm ready to be real. Authentic. Honest. I'm letting go of my defenses right now. To experiment with love. And see what happens. It's just for a short moment. But I'm willing to experiment. And see what happens. If I really let love through. Everyone take a big deep breath, release a big sigh. All right, love, the short-haired love. Just hold the other person in total care right now. Hold them in so much empathy. Look at them in the eyes. Notice any uncomfortability with looking at love in the eyes right now. Because any uncomfortability about not allowing it in right now is just showing you what's happening out there in the world in relationship. Can you let yourself fully be seen? Knowing that you are worthy. Every aspect of you is worthy of being seen in love. So tune into any resistance to fully being seen right now. Take a big deep breath, release a big sigh. Repeating after me, even though this is new, I'm ready to give this a shot. Big deep breath, another big sigh. Okay, you guys ready to give this next thing a shot? All right, so gazing into the eyes of your beloved across from you, seeing love, because that's all it is. So looking in their eyes right now, even if you're uncomfortable, this is the experiment. It's only going to be for 10 minutes or 5 minutes even. So see if you can do it. And just notice anything that comes up as a result of it. This is part of the healing. Now, short-haired person, you're just going to hold love. Long-haired person, you're going to get vulnerable. You're going to tell the other person something that you've been craving in your relationship world that possibly you haven't asked for or you haven't spoken ever before. Go ahead. I have been craving, or I've been something that's vulnerable and true for you. And then everyone take a big deep breath. When you're done with yours, release a big sigh. And now the person on the opposite side, I want you to repeat what you heard them say. Were you listening? We'll try it again. Short-haired person, second opportunity. Say it again. I have been, or what you've been craving. And now the other person, repeat what you just heard them say. Say, I hear that, and tell them what you heard. And you are worthy of it. Take a big deep breath, release a big sigh. Now let's switch sides. So long hair, you are the all-encompassing love right now. Feel all of that love. Long hair, just gaze into the short hair's eyes. Everyone take a big deep breath, release a big sigh. And short-haired person, reveal something vulnerable that you've been craving, that perhaps you haven't been getting, that you really desire. Something to the other person. I am, or I have been. Go ahead and share it. And then short-haired person, or where are we, long-haired or short-haired? The other person, I'm dancing in circles here. Repeat whatever it was, yeah. I hear that. And you are worthy of it. Take a big deep breath, release a big sigh, everyone. And now everyone tapping their chest right now. And repeating after me, it's safe to be real and authentic. It's safe to show up and love. And listen. And I'm ready to do this in my life now. I'm ready to show up. To be real. And to hold it all in love. Big deep breath, big sigh.